Hey friends, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Melissa, and in today's video I am going to tackle this linen closet in our hallway. Just doing little videos here and there of small spaces in our home, tackling, just trying to organize. I can only do so much while being in a boot, so hopefully this will inspire you to tackle a small space in your home, even if it has a little organization, but just to make it better. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to try to make this a little better. Thank you once again for joining me, and let's get into today's video. All right, friends, so to start off, we got to clean this thing out. So I am going to remove all of the items and put everything on the bar in the kitchen, just cleaning it all out, and then I'll wipe down the shelves. I'm going to tackle a little painting in this video, touching up some paint in there, covering up some of the black trim. I'll share a little bit about that here in just a minute, but I just need to get everything out of the closet. Sometimes you can you can organize shelf by shelf, but I like to bring everything out, completely clean it. Plus, like I said, I was going to tackle a little painting, but it just gives me a visual of everything that was in there, what doesn't need to go back in there, and the things that do need to go back in there. So that's what I'm doing right now, just kind of cleaning it out. Just showing you guys here, everything is completely cleaned out of the closet. We're starting with a clean space, and we're going to get to organizing. All right, so I've gotten everything out of the closet and showed you what it looks like after it's completely cleaned out. And I've got some paint here. Now, I don't think I'm going to use this. I was thinking about painting the shelves, but I don't think I'm going to do that. But I am going to paint the trim that is underneath of each shelf, where the trim is black. As you can see, the trim is black underneath of those shelves. And so I'm just going to paint those white. And I'm just going to use this Sherwin-Williams interior latex, just white paint that I have downstairs. I don't even know what color this is. It's just white paint. I don't think it's a specific color. It's what I used to use for my trim, but I don't remember what it was. But anyway, it's white paint I have on hand, so I'm going to use it just underneath of those shelves and just go ahead and do the black trim that's under them, turn it white, and that way it'll match the white trim that's at the bottom. Now the paper that's on the back, I did this years ago, and I did not have enough to go all the way at the top, which kind of stinks, but once I get baskets up there, you don't really see it anyway, so it's okay. But I think I got that paper from like the Dollar General store at one time, and I think it was like cabinet liner, shelf liner. So I just used it on the back of the wall back there. But I'm going to go ahead and just paint the trim, and then while that's drying, then I can kind of organize and go through all of my things and kind of figure out a better system with all of this stuff. All right, so the first coat is done on the black trim that was holding the shelves. And I kind of like that better because even though you can see the brackets with the white in the closet and the white paper, it kind of blends in. You don't really see it as much as it was stark and black before. So I do like that better, but that's just the first coat. So once that dries, then I can put a second coat on and we can get this closet put together. I'm not worried about these shelves. They were kind of like brush stroked, painted, but I'm not worried about them. You're not going to see them. It is fine. It's kind of like that dry brush to make it look like gray wood was done on them, but yeah, it is fine. I thought about painting them, but honestly, if I paint them, it's just going to be longer. You have to wait, and to be honest, I'm impatient. I want all this stuff put back in the closet, and I want it organized. So as long as it's organized, I don't really care what the shelves look like, to be honest with you. All right, so in order to make this medicine fit in this turnabout table, I just put the medicine in a Ziploc bag, and I'm tearing apart the box just so that I can put the instructions, you know, the directions of how to take the medicine and the expiration date. All those things will be inside the bag with it as well, but it just makes it fit inside the turntable better. All right, so I wanted to utilize this basket that I shared with you guys in that recent haul that I did, and put all of the things in it, like blood pressure cuffs, all of those, you know, those things that we start collecting as we get older. But all of those types of things I decided to put in this basket and put it in the top of the linen closet. And it just kind of concealed all of that stuff and gave me a larger compartment, something to hold it in. So I think it worked out really well, and I like utilizing that for that. It's now time for the reveal. Everything is organized, put in the closet, put away, and there was a couple things that didn't go back in there, but I will show you where I placed them. They found a new home, neatly and organized, so I'll show you where that is. The bar is pretty much cleaned off. I need to go through this and see if this has like an expiration date on it. It came with our couch years ago, so that's probably going to be trash, and I'll have to figure out what to do with it. These are like some broken organizers, and then of course boxes. I got rid of boxes. This can go in the donation bin. This is a sheer curtain that I'm not using, probably won't use, so I'm going to put that in the donation bin. So this is my cleaner I was using. I need to ask my husband about this. I'm not sure what this is. These are some extra soaps, but I keep these containers because I use them at Christmas time. So I'm probably going to put them under the sink. Also, another one, I have a bin behind in the very back that has soaps and things in it. So I'll probably put those there. But these are like some extra storage bins. And here are two others. I was able to eliminate this one, and then this one was an extra out of the one that I bought. That is one thing I do not get rid of. If they're clear, white, or a basket or anything like that, I try not to get rid of that stuff. I have a place downstairs. I need to organize that too, really. I need to organize where I keep my organizers. But I do have them in an area where they're kind of all together, and I go through them and I keep them because you just never know. As I stated earlier in the video, you know, as life changes, as things, as we age, we're now, like I said, we're now keeping things in our organization. Let me put you guys on the stand so I can sit and talk to you. All right, and get off my foot just a second. But like I said earlier in the video, as we age and life seasons change, you know, I was storing and organizing things when my kids were little that I'm not storing and organizing now because I don't need it. Kids' books, things like that. If you're in that phase of life, you know, then you have organization that works for that kind of stuff. I think most of my viewers are pretty much my age or older than me. So you have been, most of you are probably, you're older than me and you've been where I am, or you're at the same age as I am and you are organizing the same type of stuff. So we now have blood pressure kits and all the fun stuff. Who knew, right? That's all fine. It's just trying to figure out a organization that works best for what season you're in at the time. This pantry has been, or not pantry, this linen closet has been organized I don't know how many times, and it has never just been very convenient. So I'm hoping that adding the Lazy Susans in there with the medicine will be convenient. Now, we're not at the season in life where we have little kids, so I don't have to worry about little kids going in there and getting in my medicine. I don't need it locked away or anything like that. My medicine is fine where it's at. So, but if you're in a season where you need it up higher, behind closed doors, locked or something like that, then obviously you wouldn't do what I'm doing here. Let me show you where I stored the extra stuff, and then I'll show you the linen closet. Now, we don't have doors, y'all. We took the doors down because the door broke. Long story. If you were here, you heard about that already, but we now have curtains here for a while. But this is our, kind of open it up as much as I can for you guys. This is our coat closet, okay? And the way I've organized this, since we moved back upstairs, I just put all of our blankets up here that I'll pull from seasonally. And then our beach towels, which we'll pull from these when we go down to the creek or whatever, you know, or when we go to the pool or the beach. But I put them in here neatly. All of our coats are back here on this side. And then I have these shelves here. This is actually busting out of the seams. I need to organize through that a little bit better. But this is pillow covers in there. Oh, hey, there's another one of those curtains. I'll have to grab that and put that with the other one. But this is just a table runner that I use in my living room every now and then. These are the charcoal bags. We have these hanging in here also. Just takes away any smells. And we hung these throughout our house after we got our floor redone, and it really helped with the stain smell. You can take them out. It says this was a 10-pack. I got them off of Amazon. Ready to use and rechargeable in the sun. So you take them out and you let them sit in the sun for, it tells you how long. I'm not really sure. and it'll like absorb, the sun absorbs the smells that it has absorbed out of it, and then you can reuse them. So I've had them hanging in here since we moved back upstairs, so I could recharge them or whatever, but they're working right now. You can leave them up for, I don't know if it's a couple months. I don't know. It says on here in one thing I read on it, but there's 10 of them in there. So I have some hanging in the basement. I have some hanging around the house. So they're just good. You can put in closets, you can put in dressers, you can put in your car. I'll try to link these below if I can, and I will get those linked in this video. But these baskets here, I just have our gloves and our scarves. I know this wasn't part of this video, me organizing this. This has kind of been organized, and when we moved back up, we just put everything back. Hats, and then down here there's more pillow covers and things like that in there. And then our, what do you call those things? Extension cords down there. And then this is what I moved out of the other closet. I had my iron in there, and so I just put it in this bin, also with my shaver and my little changing blades for the shaver. And just put them in there so I can grab that if I need to. This is a camping bag, collapsible, if we go hiking. Not camping, hiking bag. I'll get it together in a minute. But yeah, even though this wasn't in the video that I organized, it just kind of shows you how it's organized and then where I placed that. So even though I took it out of there, I put it someplace where it was also organized. I didn't just throw it in a corner for you guys not to see. I'm showing you where I put it. So let me show you what the linen closet looks like now. I'll remind you what it looked like before, and then we'll go into the reveal. All right, friends. So this is a reminder as to what it looked like before. I did have a lot of organization bins and things like that, trying to corral things, but there wasn't any type of order as far as consistency and staying in those bins. There were things just laid on shelves and just, you know, and the floor had a lot more things on it. And then the black brackets underneath of the shelves kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. So after everything was cleaned out, this is what it looks like now. Everything is so much neater. I think the white underneath of the shelves looks so much better. I probably could have taken down the paper, but I just left it in there. But everything has its own home, its own space, and I love how it turned out. Okay, so up here in this basket, it's kind of closed and concealed, so it kind of hides everything. Very easy to get to, very easy to pull out, but this kind of hides all the things that I was talking about, the new things you kind of have to have as you age. You know, our blood pressure cuff, you know, things when you're sick, our oxygen monitor, thermometers, hot water bottles, some gauze, different things like that. But it just kind of hides those things and makes it neater to look at. I mean, I have plenty of other storage. I could store stuff behind there. I could move this to the side. I could have space for something else up there, but I don't need it right now, so that works. And then this is what I was most concerned about with this closet, because we just can never really find anything in that other basket. So I figured having it in like Lazy Susans, and I can pull them out, you know, sit them on a counter and look through them, but it's just easier. And I kind of have it set up with like cold medicines, bee stings, things like that, creams for bug bites, stuff like that, in this bin. And then this bin is more of an everyday, like vitamins, allergy medicine, cold Halls, drops, things like that in this bin. And then back here is more of some Band-Aids, you know, first aid type stuff, some more of that kind of things. And then some of my husband's medicine that he pulls from regularly is just in this little white bin that I have sitting in there. So that's kind of like our medicine station. And then if you move on down, we don't use the shower very much down here for towels for baths. These are more or less like kind of gently used older towels, but we'll pull from these. I'll pull from these when it rains, and I'll grab a towel and put it at the door for when the dogs come in. It kind of catches their muddy prints, or, you know, we can use it for other stuff. So some of them are still dirty downstairs, so I need to put them in here. And then just old rags. Not old rags, but these are rags that we use if we need a wash rag. So, and then in here, this is just like tanning lotions, sunscreens, things like that. And then in here is more or less like bug care, mosquito bites, stuff like that, off, you know, after sun, if you've gotten a sunburn, some aloe relief, things like that. These things really work. These citronella wristbands. Probably not the best thing to wear, but I don't know. They do work. But I've kind of got those separated in those two bins, so you know which bin to grab from. And then I have my chair here. Let me sit down on the chair. Take a break off my foot. Down here on this row is just cleaning supplies. So mainly everyday types cleaning supplies right there. I did shove in these little footies. You've probably seen me wear these in, right after I got the floors. I wore these when I was cleaning. They're just kind of like little duster footies, but you know, I put those in there. And then back in the back is more like Lysol, Febreze, you know, fragrance sprays, things like that. A few little to-go Norwex type rags. And then this bin, this is more of like my cleaning rags, my Norwex rags, my Norwex window cloths, scrub daddies, and these are some old cleaning rags also thrown in there that I pull from. And then in this, mop heads, this is for my little shark duster, vac mop, or whatever. These are the reusable, not reusable, these aren't reusable. These are the pads to put on it. The reusable pads are down here. I have some of these that you can reuse. I will typically just use this if I'm just using the vacuuming part of it. I don't use the sprayer with these. If I'm going to use the sprayer with this, I use those. And that way, because if those get wet, the dust kind of, I don't know. I don't like it. I use this only for just dry vacuuming the floor. You can use it for the wet, but I don't. These are just some little dusters. I don't pull from these very much. I didn't even know I had any of those, so I just put some in there and I can grab them every now and then, but I don't really typically use that very much. I would rather have a wet rag with something that smells good on it and just wipe stuff off, but that's just me. But for a quick dust on like the TV, things like that, those things come in handy. And then extra soap, Clorox, and then my cleaners for my shark back, and then my shampooer cleaner. And then this is just a Norwex, like a towel thing that you can hang in the bathroom, and I have that hanging on the side. So the only other thing to put in here are my mops. So with having this cleaned out, I can just lean those in here. This stays plugged in the hallway, and it's, you know, keeps it charged. This is the little shark vac mop. I love this thing. This is the one that I said I only use when, with those pads, I only use the dry. But if I want to do the wet, I will change it to the ones that I bought off Amazon for it. But I love this thing. I mean, if there's crumbs on the floor or something falls on the floor, it's just a quick go-to grab, and it sucks it up good. So one of the best purchases I've ever purchased. My daughter actually purchased one for herself for upstairs in her bathroom, and she said when she moves, she can move out and take it with her. So, but I'm gonna slide this over here and then put this just like that. Put this right here. Let that cord run up underneath of there. And my mop. I could actually put my mops on the wall if I wanted to, but it's fine. I don't think that'll stick out. And there you go, voila. It's closed. Everything's behind closed doors. Easily accessible and nice and clean. All right, friends, that's going to be the end of today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this kind of video, do me a favor, stick around, hit that like and subscribe, comment down below, and let me know what you like best about this organization and this linen closet. And Lord willing, friends, there'll be another one. Bye-bye.